I don't wanna bet, but my father wrote a check that I bet his ass could never cash. He's betting on the 8-ball, landing in the sidewalk, cold-blooded killer if you ask. But every night he needs me to land himself a red 3-corner pocket at 12 a.m. Only 12 years old, but I got a hold of a post-it I was gifted from him. My father is a betting man, but I got myself a steady hand. He's sitting in the corner with a 6-pack of Corona, betting that his son will win again. Go bet another 6-pack, bet I make a comeback. I know that this table's gotta lean. Won't you take me fishing, and I wanna try out for the 7th grade football team. You'll probably be nothing but this town's old drunkard and die on a smoke-stained stool. But right now he's got a bargain that he's taken too far on his boys' game of 9-ball pool. My father was a betting man, but I got myself a steady hand. He's sitting in the corner with a 6-pack of Corona, betting that his son will win again. My father was a betting man. My father was a betting man, but I got myself a steady hand. He's sitting in the corner with a 6-pack of Corona, betting that his son will win again. I don't wanna bet, but my daddy wrote a check that I bet his ass could never cash. He's betting on the 8-ball, landing in the sidewalk, cold-blooded killer if you ask.
Welcome. We are back. Another day in the market. Early stream tonight, so it's going to be a little bit quieter, it seems. I know typically it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock when most of you can watch live. So for all of you watching the replay, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. If you're finding the replay and you're not subscribed to the channel and you don't know who I am, that's an easy way to start paying attention to what we're doing over here at the freight trading movement. So let's get into everything going on in the markets. There's quite a bit to cover right now. It was an okay day today. S&P gapped up, Q's gapped up, and the Russell at one point today I think was down quite a bit. Let's see. So that's Wednesday. So yeah, the Russell gapped up too, but then sold off quite a bit to rally later in the day. And literally at the low of the day, like almost to the exact candle, I literally calls in the Russell 2000. So nice move off the lows there, and it ended up being a pretty green close for the market. So we're going to get back to that shortly, starting off with Bitcoin. Good luck with feeding your leopard lump. But starting off with Bitcoin, we are testing this demand line currently. All right, if we ignore the demand line, we're still in this rectangle, we're still going sideways. But this is a demand line you've held since October 24th. And as of right now, Bitcoin is testing a breakdown kind of like on lower time frames. Let's see if I can chart this. Pretty much like that. On the lower time frames, like on the 1 hour chart, you just broke down from this bear flag. So that's not great. This is a very key area for Bitcoin to bounce. If there's an area for the bullishness on Bitcoin to continue, it is exactly right here. So we will see if it can hold up. So far it's not looking great, but hopefully that changes. SOL, it was back testing the breakout, and then of course alongside Bitcoin falling now, the swings back down about 4%. I mean, everything was setting up and it just really couldn't hold the back test. And then Ethereum is still currently back testing the breakout, pretty much of the highs from the last couple of months. So definitely a little bit more of a pullback than I was expecting on crypto. And if we break the current supports that are being tested, it could go even deeper. So keep that in mind. Moving over into other markets, starting to see a rally in bonds right now, or more specifically treasuries. I'm going to extend this a little bit. It's not the cleanest, or they are not the cleanest trend lines, but pretty much a descending broadening wedge. And I would say this is the first time really since the top over here that I'm actually flipping to bullish on the 2-year treasury. We're back above the 4.3% level. We are getting close to testing a breakout, and pretty much the second we touch that breakout, we're going to have a partial decline, which means a 70% chance of breaking out. So we could start to see bonds moving up. I mean, the 10-year just broke the 200-day moving average and back above the 4.07% level. You know, if you've been watching streams, I've been bearish on the 2-year and the 10-year treasuries since the top. And for the first time on the stream right now, I'm saying I am now switching back to bullish on these treasuries. It looks like they're ready to bounce back. So we will continue to keep an eye on that. Dollar currency next make or break area, testing the 200-day moving average. Not much of a change for silver, but gold still kind of towards the end of this triangle. It was testing a breakout over here. Now it's testing a breakdown. I want to see a stronger move, because this could also be a fake out. Just like the breakout was a fake out, the breakdown could be a fake out. So gotta wait for a little bit more confirmation on gold. And let's see what else. The Hang Seng Index. I mean, it's pretty interesting that 2 days in a row it bounces off this trend line. It's not like this is potentially the most important trend line in the history of the world's economy. It's not like it's a 26-year-long trend line on the largest economy in the world, and it's not like it's bouncing off of it right now. I'll leave it at that for tonight. And we don't look at this every night, but I want to take a look at the VanEck Semiconductor ETF, SMH. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this, which is up about 0.5% after hours and gapped up to new all-time highs today. This cup and handle is really playing out beautifully. I don't know why I have a random wedge up there. It's not priced there, but beautiful cup and handle is currently playing out on SMH, and semis are doing their thing. Even before we look at the market, let's take a look at semis. First off, Nvidia hit new all-time highs today. Wonder if it literally touched the 1618 now. Yeah, there we go. All right, so keep in mind, as we speak right now, Nvidia is currently at its golden ratio 1618 Fibonacci extension. The RSI is overbought. This is pretty close to a hanging man candlestick pattern. I mean, I think it's safe enough to say this is a hanging man. Got a hanging man bearish candlestick pattern. This could be a short-term top for Nvidia here in the lower 570s. All right, it's January 18th. We're at a Fibonacci resistance and we have a bearish candlestick. We're overbought. We are also at this upper Bollinger Band over here. I mean, we've technically been at that for like 5 days in a row, but oh, yeah. All right, so that's Nvidia. Moving over into AMD. Why did I not hear about this today? AMD today hit new all-time highs, and I just saw that for the first time. That is very impressive. But a little bit of selling looks like took place. Looks like you went up to probably gap. Yeah, you did. You gapped up to new. Wow, you gapped up to new all-time highs, and then you pulled back off of it. Why can't I hear any music? Raise this volume a little. All right, so gap up to new all-time highs in AMD, but selling pretty much right after, and then moving forward to MU, pretty much again breaking out of this triangle on the daily, so keeping a close eye on it. And that's pretty much how some of these chip names are looking like. I mean, we also have Qualcomm up 4%, nice gap up as well over here. This really just had a very nice breakout of that trend line that's been playing out. Look, Nvidia has gone to do this. This is pretty much where Nvidia is at now. And then AMD has gone to do this. And this is where AMD is at right now. And then MU has gone like to do this. And then this is where Qualcomm is. So keep an eye. And then we were also looking at TSM last night. And my, oh my, it was up 10% today. Last night I charted this wedge breakout and it had earnings today and pre-market, and it gapped up and it broke above highs. Well, it broke above 52-week highs in that gap up, but it also broke above last June's high. So now have a gap fill at 115.72 for March of 2022, and then your resistance after that is 126. So chips definitely not working. Chips definitely stealing spotlight today. I would say TSM looks pretty good above that white zone I just drew. Look at these lows, these 4 lows from the past. Then it flipped into resistance here and here. I would say TSM looks good above that level. And that's pretty much it for chips. Let's move on to the overall market now. And start off with the SPY, which on the daily time frame, like I showed you last night on the stream, is simply in a range. Okay? We're simply seeing a range here. But let's play some devil's avocado. Okay? And if we want to make this a structure instead of just a range, at least for right now, and I know I have the 1 hour broadening wedge megaphone pattern, which is technically just a neutral pattern. But if we're going to look at this on the 4 hour time frame, okay, I mean, it could be argued. I'm not saying it's going to break out for sure, but it could certainly be argued that we have, and this is also not the best placement for one. You want to see inverse head and shoulders typically in downtrends, not as continuation patterns, but this could be argued as an inverse head and shoulders, okay, on the S&P 500. And if that breaks out, you're very likely going to be seeing all-time highs very quickly. So typically you don't look for inverse head and shoulders after going up 17%, almost 2 times the yearly average performance in 2 months. Pretty much for the last 2 months consecutively, we got the returns that we see in a whole entire year on the S&P 500. And if we break out of this consolidation to the upside, then it could really just be a repetition of that. And honestly, I think a new all-time high breakout with confirmation brings you to 5,000 on the SPX, aka 500 on SPY. All right, moving back over to the spot chart. I did alert, and again, same thing here. This is not a real partial rise until you technically were to go down and test the demand line. So we'll keep it neutral for now. This is a neutral pattern. I did alert 2 different option trades today on SPY. Let's check it out. So the first one, right over here at these lows, I alerted SPY calls. Okay, why did I alert SPY calls right over here? Those went up 70%, by the way. In premium, I alerted SPY calls right here because you see these white zones I have on my 5-minute chart. It gapped up and then it flipped that zone into a support. I mean, if we look left on the chart, that is a very good zone historically. Then we were also holding above the 9 EMA. You really can't see it that well, but it's like these small gray circle dots on my chart. And we were pretty much compressed between the 9 EMA and the VWAP while kind of flagging. All right, we were kind of flagging and we were compressed between a 9 EMA and a VWAP above support. It was a resistance yesterday, but you gapped above it, so it was a support this morning. So I went ahead and alerted SPY calls, and those went up 70%. Then we continued to pretty much put in intraday double top. First top over here, and then second top over here. And we saw a large red flush candle after that. Then what we did was we pretty much created a little bit of a bear flag, like I'm drawing out right there. And once I saw this bearish engulfing candle, I alerted SPY puts on this bearish engulfing candle. And that one I messed up a bit because it was still in the zone technically, even though yes, at the close of this 5-minute candle when I alerted the puts, the SPY broke the zone. And in another world, in another universe, you would have seen an immediate reaction to the downside. But what happened instead was we got a slight reaction up to this level. And yes, right here, I marked the puts as a fail. They were down 35%. And to be fair, if we would have broken above this level, which at the time it looked like we were about to, they would have went from down 35% to down like 50, 60% very quickly if it would have went to the next level. It's the same thing here. Look, we went straight from this level down to this level. So if you were to break that level, you could have gone straight up to this level. And I was thinking about the risk before the rewards, and my bad on that one. I literally had the level charted out, the resistance charted out, and before it even broke it, because I was thinking it was going to break it, I marked it as a failed trade, and then it ended up actually playing out to the downside. So that was a failed one, but it's still technically my original idea played out. It's one of those scenarios where your own stop loss you kind of get stop hunted by yourself. And it was what it was. It was okay. The last 4 to 5 trades were all like 50% to 100% profit before this 35% loss. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was looking around for like different trades, whatever. And I'm like, wait, why am I like forcing this? Let me just relax for a few minutes, collect myself. There's no need to revenge trade. Just scanning through my charts. And I move over to the IWM. And at the exact low of day on the Russell 2000, I alerted calls literally right here, okay? Right at that arrow, I alerted Russell 2000 calls. They expire tomorrow, and those calls doubled. 1 DTEs, they went up over 100%. maybe they could go up even more tomorrow. And the crazy part about that, if we go over to the Discord, you can see this is the exact alert. All right. So 1:28 p.m. You can see 1:28 p.m. exact low of day. You can see the alert. Russell 2000 calls. Premium was 82 cents. This went up to $1.90 premium, I believe, into the close. And that was a beautiful trade. And then on top of that, the algo that I'm working on literally caught this same exact thing, which was crazy. And I did not even look at the algo because I was literally on my, when I put out that alert, I was on my phone. And like even in my charts, you can see they're vertical charts, they're not horizontal charts. I was sending the charts from my phone. So I didn't even load up the algo on my phone. And I wasn't even looking at that. And then when I got back to my apartment, I went over to my computer, loaded up the algo, and I'm like, oh my gosh, on the same exact candle I alerted calls, it alerted calls, and it's not like it alerted calls here and it's set to sell right here. There was literally no sell signal after that until all the way up over here. And this is not the first time that happened this week. This is the third time in a row that happened this week, which is crazy. 3 winners I've alerted this week in a row. It pretty much caught it. And something I'm actually really interested to look at now is, and I'll look at after the stream, what it did when I messed up the stop on that. Look, at the end of the day, if my algo ends up being better at trading than I am, which might sound weird to people, I'm going to consider that a success. Because nobody else is making this. I am making this from scratch. So if I can make it even better than me at the end of the day, as much as I have mastered my emotions in the market, I also haven't. I still do get emotions sometimes when I'm down on positions and when I'm up a lot and I'm greedy. The algo doesn't care. And the only way to have no emotions is to literally automate your trading. Because I don't care how long you've traded. I don't care how good of a trader you are. Even if you made $20 million trading, there will always be at least a little bit of emotion in your trading. All right. Money will make you emotional. And trading is making money or losing money. And there's both emotions to both sides of that. So we will see. That's pretty much the SPY and the Qs. Quick look at the Russell now. Got a little bit of a continued bounce today. Hidden bullish divergence starting to develop. We go over to the 1 hour time frame. We're starting to see more continuation of this wedge playing out. Like I said last night on stream, it could continue to see some more upside. Look, on the daily time frame, we back tested this trend line. Now we're bouncing off it. MACD is setting up, RSI is setting up. We will see what continues to happen. So pretty much it for the overall market. Let's do a little bit of a roll call. What's up, everybody in the chat? Let's take a look at Starbucks for mugs. Appreciate it. Saying I've got the sauce. Max, Nerve, Honeycomb, Danny. Okay, what's up? All right, Starbucks. What did you say about it? There's some hidden bullish divergence on the 2-day, bullish, and there's an engulfing candle on the daily at a key level. This is certainly a key level. It pretty much came all the way. So Starbucks gapped up over here. All right, gapped up over here, ran up to this level, then it sold all the way back down to fill this gap. And then on the same day the day after it, pretty much the couple of days after it fills the gap, you get confirmed hidden bullish divergence on the MACD, crossover from red to green. Same hidden bullish divergence is there on the RSI. You do get that bullish engulfing candle, and you get a wedge breakout. So Starbucks above $90 is bullish to me. If we want to go over to a weekly time frame on Starbucks, there's an even larger wedge starting to form, or a downsloping channel. So that is Starbucks on the weekly. All right. Let's run through pretty much some other names on my watch list before I head out of here. It's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter stream tonight. Let's see. Weight Watchers. This was alerted as a put swing in premium at 630. And now it's at 450. Well, it went down to pretty much my exact level I wanted, which was this gap fill at 418. It went down to 424 at low of day today. Beautiful, beautiful move, down about 30 to 40% in the last few weeks, or the last few days, not few weeks, in the last week. Apple, gap up All right, it gapped up after the second test of 200-day moving average. Jordan in the stream last night was spot on with this prediction. And now your upside gap to fill is 192-ish, but you did create a downside gap for that 183-ish because of that gap up today. Netflix, I was talking about how Netflix was back testing the breakout of this triangle. Yesterday, you got a bullish engulfing candle fall through today. It's above a very important historical support. I'm pretty bullish on Netflix right now. This also potentially could turn into a news swing. I mean, even just as a user of Netflix, I feel like they've finally been starting to release some pretty good shows. If anybody saw Berlin, I thought it was a really good spin-off of Money Heist. A bunch of different shows and movies, Adam Sandler deals, all that good stuff. So I like what Netflix is doing. We'll see how those earnings pan out. We're heading right into earnings season next week. So get ready, get your risk management set up for earnings because next week is going to be very interesting. Coinbase fell quite a bit today, down 7%. Next level is about 116-ish. That's your next major support. Microsoft retesting all-time highs after hours. It is at all-time highs. Highest close ever on Microsoft. Really no levels here, but it's just a beautiful cup and handle breakout. And then literally on the breakout of the cup and handle, you made a bull flag to retest it. It's beautiful. We're gonna look at Fibs now. Your 1618 on Microsoft is 400. It's a psychological level. Beautiful. See you at 400, Microsoft. What happens when a stock goes from 90? What happens when a stock goes up to 90? 9 out of 10 times it goes to 100. Now Microsoft's at 390. 9 out of 10 times it should touch 400 or at least test it. Maybe like 399.99. So that the sell orders at 400 can't get filled, but that's Microsoft. Amazon, I'm starting to kind of like it. I feel like, yes, it's ranging technically, but it's starting to staircase. It's like you have like a smaller range. Let me draw this out. You have a smaller range over here. Smaller range over here, turns into a new range, breaks out of it, retests it, turns into a new range. It's doing okay. Google breakout above the key 144 level. This could be up for an all-time high test in the next couple of weeks. Don't be surprised if literally when Google's reporting earnings, it's sitting right at its previous all-time highs. And it's going to basically be the decision maker of if Google goes into price discovery mode or if it makes an epic double top. Probably going to happen to a lot of these large caps. Right around their earnings, they're going to be retesting their previous all-time highs, and their earnings are going to decide whether or not they break to new all-time highs or they reject them. And how this earnings season goes is pretty much going to decide whether the SPY, at least in the short term, next month or so, reaches new all-time highs or rejects previous all-time highs. All right, so shorter stream tonight, like I said, just a quick recap of everything going on. This is the final stream of the week. Thank you for watching streams. I really do appreciate it. For the 8 people watching live right now, all right, I'm gonna give some of you watching the replay a little bit of a chance, but in like an hour or two, all right, we already had 2 people sign up today. In an hour or two, like I said, literally, discount gets lowered every day by 5%, right? So yesterday I gave you 35% off. Later tonight, in like probably in an hour or so, I'm gonna change the discount from 35% off to 30% off. Now, if you're going shopping for a shirt, that doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking about lifetime, which is $1,000, that's $50. It's gonna go from, you can see only a 6 here because it's cut out, but it's gonna go from $650 to $700 in an hour. So if you are debating this, you're saving $50 by not debating it for the next hour. And then you're gonna be like, oh, it's at 700 in an hour. And then you're like, okay, it's still 30% off. And then you miss out on $50. And then if you don't, then tomorrow it's gonna be 750. The day after 800, you get the point. So the best time is right now. And this is like the sale because everyone was asking for it. So 2 spots are filled. Shout out to the 2, I put it in the premium chat earlier today. The 2 new lifetime members, 1010, and it's cut out right over here. And I don't know if they want me to share their full names either way. It's cut out because streamer mode's enabled. But shout out to the new lifetime members. That also, of course, comes with beta access to my algo that I was just showing all of you about. I've really not been able to shut up about it, honestly. Literally alerted a buy signal at the same time I IWM calls in premium today without me even knowing. And this is only literally 2 days of work. I'm gonna spend the next 5 months working on it. You're gonna get early access to it, and you're literally gonna have it forever. So you're not just getting premium forever and all of this amazing stuff. This is literally how just today went in premium for options. And then this is literally the Weight Watchers put swing that I alerted, and now Weight Watchers just fell 30%. And the weekly watch list that's playing out beautifully with both bearish and bullish names on it. You're getting all of that, and you're also getting the algo. So it's 2 in 1, 35% off. You wait another hour, you're losing 50 bucks. Look, I know you want to eat a steak tomorrow night. Save yourself that steak and get a lifetime value for premium and the algo if you're not there. You can already be in premium, you cannot be in premium. Doesn't matter, you can go sign up right now. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for anybody interested. Like I said, for the rest of the year, you're gonna look at that price being $1,000 and you're gonna be like, wow, I could have gotten that $650. And this is not just something I'm like, hey, go try this out. There's over 30 lifetime members that can literally back me up on how much value it's providing them. So I know many people with an annual that's $1,000 a year. For 1 year, you have to pay $1,000. I'm giving you forever access. As long as these things are available, forever access for almost half of what people charge in a year. I don't know what else to say. Have a great night. Thank you for watching streams. I will be back next week. I just dropped the link in the chat if you're interested. If you're in the Kick stream and you didn't get the link in the chat because I forgot to put it there, go to the Discord, discord.gg/freetradingmovement. It's on the bottom of the screen. Once you join the Discord, go over to the announcements channel and the link is right here. Or if you're really just an animal and you don't like to click links, then you can screenshot your screen right now and enjoy typing in these 30 letters in a row. But there you go. You know where to find it. There's only 3 spots left. I know I said 5, 2 are taken. Have a great night, and I will see you later. And Frank, thank you very much for the testimonial. Join Lifetime, definitely worth every penny. I appreciate you, Frank. Thanks for all the support, everybody. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week.